10 most protected presidents in the world. Hello viewers, welcome to another exciting edition and thanks for watching. Today we shall be talking about 10 most protected presidents in the world. The world is full of important presidents, or at least presidents who think they are important. Almost any president worth his or her salt knows which car of the giant motorcade to sit in, and has at least some idea about how huge their security detail is. But which famous president has the biggest, strangest and craziest security setup of them all? Let's find out. If you are new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and turn on your post notifications so you don't miss any of our amazing videos. Number 10. Turkey's President Erdogan. Recep Tayyip Erdogan, President of Turkey, might not be the most heavily guarded person on this list, but the security detail is certainly one of the most hardcore. Erdogan has a loyal 60-man bodyguard detail known as the Mustacheers. And yes, the name absolutely means they are all burly men who boast fearsome mustaches. The Mustacheers are so wholly unconcerned with anything that isn't immediately related to their leader's safety that in 2017 they thought nothing of kicking the snot out of several American citizens who were protesting Erdogan in Washington, D.C. 7 bodyguards were charged for the attacks, but the charges were later dropped. As a mysterious coincidence, this happened just before Erdogan's meeting with Secretary of State Rex Tillerson. Fearsome as the Mustaches may be, they are far from being the only weapon in Erdogan's personal security arsenal when the need arises. During the president's historic visit to Greece in 2017, the 60 mustache men joined an estimated 100 other Turkish security officials, along with over 3,000 Greek snipers, agents and corps positioned all over Athens. Number 9. The President of Guinea. Alpha Conde, the awesomely named first democratically elected President of Guinea, is doubtlessly a powerful man within his country, but his inclusion on a list of most heavily guarded world leaders comes as a bit of a surprise. However, there's a very good reason for a security focus. In 2011, political opponents attempted to assassinate him in his own home, and though his security detail managed to fight back the attackers, a 2-hour battle that involves several hostile gunmen and a grenade launcher can make a man think about his personal safety. Especially as just a few hours after Conde addressed the nation about the first attack, his presidential guard had to fend off another one. While Conde's security detail is clearly steady and hard, after all, the president is still alive and in power. They have been known to be extremely hostile against the media. In 2013, they committed a wave of violence against independent journalists. And as recently as 2016, this Red Beret beat up a reporter because he took a photo of Conde as he was leaving an assembly. Number 8. Xi Jinping. As the main man of China, it's no surprise Xi Jinping comes pretty heavily guarded. He and other higher-ups of the Communist Party are protected by an elite guard unit called the Central Security Bureau, which is a notoriously secretive organization. To this day, the most public appearance of its leader, His Excellency Wang Shaojun, came in 2015 when he attended a White House banquet, and we only know his highly classified day job because the official guest list casually mentioned his job title. Major General Wang holds a very influential position within China, as the Central Guard Bureau has thousands of elite troops that are tasked with protecting the country's top brass and their families. And because Xi Jinping personally promoted him to the task in 2015, it's probably pretty clear where the Bureau's loyalties lie in the constant turmoil of Beijing politics. Still, it's not until Xi makes a trip abroad that the true extent of his security need is revealed. During a 2017 visit to Hong Kong, a massive security blanket enveloped the area. Parts of the city were shut down, as 11,000 police officers did their level best to keep the president safe with peacekeeping tools such as helicopters and movable 6-foot barricades. Number 7. SHINZO Abe. Shinzo Abe, born 21st September 1954, is a Japanese politician who has been the Prime Minister of Japan since 2012. Abe is also currently the President of the Conservative Liberal Democratic Party, LDP. He previously served as Chief Cabinet Secretary from 2005 to 2006 and as Prime Minister from 2006 to 2007, making him the longest serving Prime Minister in Japanese history. Abe resigned in September 27, citing health reasons, shortly after his party lost the House of Councillors election that year. After recovering from illness, Abe staged an unexpected political comeback, defeating former Defense Minister Shigeru Ishiba in a vote to become LDP president for a second time in September 2012. Shinzo Abe is accompanied by bodyguards even when he visits a shrine, and his foreign trips have been known to require a security staff of 9,000 people. A wonderful example of Abe's polite, yet extremely dedicated security detail. In 2016, the Prime Minister's motorcade was on the road when it needed to merge in the traffic of a highway. Instead of, say, closing off a portion of the road beforehand, the security staff leaned out of the car windows, hanging out of the moving cars with zero assurances that the incoming traffic will stop in time, instead of, say, ramming directly into their flaying torsos. The motorcade never even slows down. This is what Abe's detail is willing to do just to change a lane. Imagine what they do if someone actually attacks the Prime Minister. Number 6. Mohammed bin Salman of Saudi Arabia. Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman of Saudi Arabia has been rumored to be on bad terms with his father, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud. While it would normally be easy to read a sentence like that and assume that the Crown Prince security has actually lowered, in Mohammed bin Salman's case, the opposite seems to be true. Middle East Eye has observed that the prince has reacted to a potential diminishing or even being forced out of the office by creating a massive security network around himself. He has spent over a year increasing his influence on Saudi Arabia's security agencies and the military, ensuring promotions to young officers who are loyal to him and arranging matters so that even the higher ups report directly to him. At the moment, the commanders of the Saudi Royal Guard, Armed Forces, Land Forces, Air Defense, Air Force and Navy all report to the prince, and with a rumored 800 new officers appointments planned by the end of 2019, it will probably not be a bad bet to say that if Prince Mohammed bin Salman is not the person with the most massive personal security network on this list yet, it's only a matter of time. Number 5. Queen Elizabeth II. The Queen's security forces are impressive, yet something of a mixed bag. The most visible and famous line of her defense, the iconic tall-hatted Queen's Guard, are mostly known for their elaborate marching spectacles and unflinching poker face during guard duty. But they are actually far from the joke some tourists take them as, and are perfectly able to mess you up if you overstep. Then there's the security personnel that guards the Buckingham Palace at all hours, who are more conventional than the Queen's Guard and their tall uniforms, but on the other hand have been known to nearly shoot the Queen on one of her late night strolls. However, when you really need to keep Her Majesty safe, you go to the Royal Protection Squad. This elite Scotland Yard squad was formed in 1983 and reportedly consists of up to 185 SAS trained officers with various degrees of James Bondness. The RPS is responsible for providing around-the-clock security for the Queen, along with the rest of the royal family and London's diplomats. The RPS is so effective that some experts say they might have been able to prevent Princess Diana's death. Lady Di dismissed the unit's 24-hour surveillance after she divorced Prince Charles, which experts think left her exposed. Still, it must be mentioned that the survivor of Diana's fatal crash, security expert Trevor Reyes-Jones, was a former RPS member, so who knows. Number 4. The Pope. The Pope is both the Bishop of Rome and ex-officio leader of the world. As the head of the Catholic Church and just like the president of a country, he too needs the utmost protection. The Pope resides in probably one of the more heavily armored cities in the world, Vatican City, a city-state by Rome, Italy. Even as you walk through the street, you can see all the toy guards dressed in antiquated armor carrying equally dated spears. That's right, the Pope is being protected by spears, but don't be fooled. These armored guards are actually a high-end military force made up of top ex-Swiss soldiers who can subdue a threat in mere seconds. Aside from the spears, they also have the finest collection of firearms hidden away in case need arises. The Swiss Guard is over 500 years old, making it the longest standing military in the world. When it was officially founded by Pope Julius II in 1506, the Guard was actually a mercenary force that is still renowned to this day for some of the most decisive victories during the skirmishes that were taking place in around Rome. Who is better placed to protect such a holy figure than an army that has withstood 500 years of onslaught? Number 3. Kim Jong-Un. When North Korea's Kim Jong-un visited Singapore in 2018, he was accompanied by a spree guard detail that seemed a lot like the US Secret Service. However, North Korea is notorious for its overkill, and Kim's bodyguards are no exception. While the Secret Service has less than 7,000 employees, its North Korean version has an absurd 100,000. This elite unit is called the Guard Command and essentially serves as Kim's highly trained personal army that reports directly to him. The absolute best of the best in the command become members of the dictator's personal protection unit, and you're unlikely to ever see them unless something goes seriously wrong. The bodyguards seen running beside Kim's limo are a separate offshoot of Guard Command, and the truly dangerous members tend to blend in shadows. We realize this sounds a lot like Kim as an array of North Korean ninjas at his disposal, but hey, at this point, who knows with that guy? Number 2. Donald Trump. The President of the United States is always at the top of many hit lists, which is why the security procedures around Donald Trump are among the very best in the world. Most people know the Secret Service and their daily efforts to keep the PUTIN in the land of the living. But the grumpy men in black suits and earpieces are just a tiny part of the president's security detail. The two Air Force One planes Trump uses for air travel are among the most secure aircrafts in the world. Yes, there are actually two of them, and there's also a fleet of helicopters called Marine One. The presidential motorcade is an even stranger beast, and it's not just because the president's pair of bomb-proof limousines are literally nicknamed the Beast. The motorcade is a carefully constructed array of custom and occasionally rental vehicles that varies with the task at hand. The presidential limousine is the focus of the motorcade, and is always accompanied by one or more spare limos that are identically right down to the plates. While the motorcade is in motion, highly trained limo drivers constantly and subtly change places, so the location of the true presidential limousine and the spares constantly changes in an automobile version of the shell game. Helicopters are also close by. As you can imagine, it takes several heavy USAF transport planes to move a motorcade to the desired location, and several motorcades are often needed depending on the president's travel schedule. When you put all of this together, you get a truly insane level of security. When Trump visited the United Kingdom in 2018, he was accompanied by 1,000 members of staff, a full motorcade and helicopters. The whole visit was carefully planned for weeks by security teams of both countries, and an estimated 150 Secret Service agents arrived in advance to oversee a massive security operation that included a ring of steel, a massive barrier erected around the property Trump visited. Oh, and this was just a 2-day, comparatively informal walking visit instead of a proper state visit. Number 1. Vladimir Putin. Russia has more than its share of secret and secretive agencies, but one mysterious security force towers above all others: the Federal Protection Service. FSO, also known as Putin's people, is an enigma. No one knows precisely how powerful the agency is, but it's assumed that its power is roughly on par with how secretive it is, which is very. There's no real public data available about this multi-purpose agency and its operations, and pretty much the only thing known about its current leader, Dmitry Kochev, is his name. Like China's Central Security Bureau, FSO is responsible for the safety of the country's political elite, but its ultimate priority is to keep body number 1 safe. That body is, of course, President Vladimir Putin, and the FSO has the power to go to absurd lengths to keep him safe. The agency is not exactly short of resources to do this either. It controls several millions, perhaps billions worth of assets, and its people have the right to do pretty much anything, from assorted operational and investigative activities to detaining people, confiscating cars and search homes at will. As such, the rumors about the FSO antics are both wild and common. One of the most persistent ones is that they have at least one body double of Putin, and that they deploy their fake Putin to do all those cool but dangerous stunts real Putin is known for, such as fighter jet stunts and submarine dives. Thanks for watching. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, share with your friends, subscribe to our channel and turn on post notification.